Hey everybody, gonna show you a 2014 Chevy Malibu. Has ABS, stabilatrac light, brake lights on. So what I find is the most common issues on these Chevy Malibus is a rear wheel bearing. It's got a tone ring or a magnetic strip built into the wheel bearing, and the corrosion gets to it. Either the whole thing or pieces will flake off, cause an erratic reading. It'll trip the light on because it's seeing that. Or it might be, if you watched the data monitored with a scan tool, you might see that it drops out. It's fine, drops out. So that'd be a result of this guy here. So here's a wheel bearing. Here's a tone ring right here that's supposed to be solid all the way around. And this one's way worse because I just pounded this one out of the knuckle. But it was missing just a small strip. It had flaked off. So from here all the way over is now gone. But you can see this strip has to be there for this sensor right here to read that strip. Now what I do is I clean up all this corrosion. It's the old aluminum knuckle with steel wheel bearing. It doesn't go together well, it corrodes, it's stuck in there. You have to beat the living snot out of it to get it out. Big BFH, big fucking hammer. Let it have an air hammer. There's 3 bolts, as you can see. I get at it from the back side. You take the caliper, the rotor off, obviously, as you can see here. I loosen up this arm. I'm going to show you. This arm here. So I take the bolt right out of it. I got it wedged in there right now from beating it, but there we go. So this arm right here, this control arm, I take the bolt out here, and then I loosen the one up on the inside so I can move this because there's a bolt for the wheel bearing. It's easier to get at it. I also take the bolt out of the shock so I can move it side to side. And then you can access the 3 18mm bolts in the back and unbolt it with a 1/2 inch impact gun. That's what I use. Pop that wheel bearing in it, drive it, the light will clear itself. As long as you have no other ABS issues, the light will clear itself. You don't have to have a scan tool. You drive it. Should happen almost immediately when you drive it. It'll reset. Don't be afraid to get right after this wheel bearing. I mangled up this backing plate a little bit. That's okay. It's going to be bolted back in. It's not going to go anywhere. Just make sure, like right here, there's that fragment where your bolt's going to go back in. Clear that out so you don't have any bolt issues going back in. Again, 2014 Chevy Malibu ABS. Stabilatrac light, brake lights on. Culprit, wheel bearing. Peace out.